Hello everybody, once again welcome to Dhananjay Bhavaguru, and today we will discuss a very important topic, structural development of pollen grains in the angiospermic plant, higher plant. So our topic is structural development of pollen grains. Pollen grains are very important phenomena in the sexual reproduction of the angiospermic plant and higher plant. If we say the pollen grains in both the gymnosperm and angiosperm. So pollen grains, we will just summarize the concept, a pinpoint, targeted, pinpoint concept of pollen grains. What is the pollen grains? You just note down pollen grains, male gametophyte. Pollen grain is first thing you must remember, male gametophyte. This is not the male gamete. Pollen grain carry the male gamete, and those structures during the sexual reproduction that carry male gamete called as male gametophyte. Gametophyte means gamete carrying cell. The cell, the structure, any morphological, anatomical structure in plant or in animal carry the gamete known as gametophyte. So pollen grain is male gametophyte. You must remember. If in exam asked what is the male gametophyte, you will not write any other name like mega gametophyte and mega karyocyte, pollen or sporangium, something like that. A very confusing word may ask there, but your target should be gametophyte is pollen grains. Here pollen grain is male gametophyte that carry the male gamete. Pollen grain is a very small in structure. Second point, around 25 to 30 micrometer. This is very important. Pollen grains average size vary between 25 to 30 micrometer. Second point you remember, 60% around, 60 to 65% around angiosperm. Said there are its pollen grains in two cell stages. Remember, I will explain you later through a diagram. 60 to 65% angiospermic plant cell their pollen grains in two cell state. Means the male gametophyte contains two cells. One is vegetative cell and second one is generative cell. I will explain you through diagram. And near about 35 to 40% angiosperm set their pollen grains in three cell stage. You always remember this is a phenomenal point. Every student of the botany should remember at which cell pollen grains get released from the dehiscence of anther. Then you must remember around 60 to 65%. Some books exactly mention 60%, but I am giving you range here 60 to 65%. That will be more fine. And remaining 35 to 40% are cell there, three cell stage the pollen grains, right? Now, what is the structure? Pollen grains, if you know, this is the covered by two layers. Pollen grains always covered by two layers. This is first layer, and outside this first layer we can draw a structure like this one. Just for your understanding purpose, I am drawing the two layers. The outer layer is called exine. You always mention, and the inner layer, outer layer is exine, and inner layer is intine. So a typical angiospermic pollen grains, but some aquatic pollen grains have external waxy layer. External waxy layer in the aquatic plant. But here in the case of normal terrestrial plant, angiospermic and gymnospermic plant, the pollen grains has two outer layer. Outermost layer is exine and innermost layer is known as intine, and inside the intine there is a fine layer. This is a cell membrane. This is a cell membrane. Just for your understanding purpose, I am using some border outline. This is the cell membrane, plasma membrane. Plasma membrane. Remember, inside the plasma membrane, as I said you earlier, if we consider the typical angiosperm, so now two cells state. There are two cells. One is a prominent cell. One cell is very prominent. Suppose that this, you can make two cells. Two cell states, this and this. So there, and this is the cytoplasm, and this is the cytoplasm. Remember, this is the cytoplasm. So in a typical angiosperm, around 60 to 65%, the pollen grains released from the anther, from the pollen sac, two cell state. The larger, the most prominent cell, the larger one is known as vegetative cell. Vegetative cell. The main feature of the vegetative cell is nutrient rich, means have nutrient, food, and large cytoplasm and irregular nucleus. And one phenomenal thing, you make the irregular nucleus. Irregular. You already remember how do you identify the vegetative cell inside the pollen grains. It must have a very large volume of cytoplasm as compared more than 3/4 space inside the intine occupied by the vegetative cell, and featured very rich in the nutrient, and lot of fat and proteins molecules are found floating in the cytoplasm of vegetative cell, and nucleus is large but not very even. It's an irregular nucleus that has been observed in the case of vegetative nucleus. But if we look into the generative nucleus, spindle cell, this small proportion cell, there are two cells, larger one is vegetative and smaller one is called generative cell. Generative cell. What is the feature? Dense cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is very dense cytoplasm and a prominent nucleus and a prominent nucleus. So how do you identify it? It's very simple. The larger cell inside the pollen grains have very high volume of cytoplasm, rich in nutrient, proteins and lipid droplets floating in whole cytoplasm matrix, and nucleus is even though large but not be regular. If you compare nucleus, irregular nucleus has been observed in the vegetative cell of the pollen grains. But if we see the nucleus of the generative cell, it's a very even in the boundary. The nucleolemma, the nucleus membrane is very even, and nucleus is very prominent, and cytoplasm is also very dense. This cytoplasm, you can say, it's a very dense cytoplasm. And whole cell, generative cell is spindle cell. So this is a spindle cell. So you must remember. So the larger one cell is the vegetative cell. The cytoplasm occupies more than 3/4 volume of the pollen grains, and the smaller cell is the generative cell, and its spindle spindle in shape, cytoplasm is very dense, and nucleus is very prominent and even. So in this way you can differentiate between these two cells inside the typical angiospermic pollen grains. And now, if you look, enzyme is a very toughest you can say the chemistry of enzyme is toughest chemistry. It's made up of sporopollenin. Sporopollenin. This is the till date known hardest, strongest, non-degradable biomolecule, sporopollenin. Sporopollenin never digested by any acid, alkali or enzyme. So you can imagine how much stronger is the sporopollenin. That sporopollenin outer layer of pollen grains make it resistant against any kind of enzymatic action, and they can preserve as a fossil for thousands of years. So why we are now excavating and finding out in the 44,000, 5,000 years old state of soil and ice, in different part of this globe. So why the preservation of the pollen grain is very high? They are very easily observing the fossil record of the plant of the eras like Jurassic time and even the Pteridophyte, Propedum, Mesozoic era plants. You can find out the nature of the plant and pollen grains at that times because they are well preserved under the soil and other kinds of fossilized material. So sporopollenin provide the toughest resistance to the pollen grains against any kind of wearing and tearing in the long time. And now beneath the sporopollen, intine. Intine is made up of cellulose plus pectin. Of course, cellulose and pectin are also very tough in nature and they provide additional support to the pollen grains. And now, anywhere all the periphery of the pollen grain you find at the place where enzyme is absent, means sporopollenin is absent. You can see at this point sporopollenin is absent, means enzyme layer is not present, and even the intine is not very thick. You make intine is also very thick. So why? This point on the perimeter of the pollen grains where sporopollenin is absent, means enzyme layer is absent, and pectin layer is also very thin, known as germ pore. And germ pore found at the site of where the germinative cell located, basically this site. And the last one, that this spindle cell germinative cell is floating in the matrix of cytoplasm of what's matrix of vegetative cell cytoplasm. And now when the pollen grains germinate, the pollen tube start to form by the breaking of this thin layer of pectin, and this plasma lemma, cell membrane of the germinative cell comes out and they develop into a pollen tube. So the development of the pollen tube, the condition, the physiological changes that occur inside the pollen grains when it is received by the stigma of any pistil, that will another phenomena. I will conduct a separate class for the pollen grain germination. So this is the whole about the structural development of the pollen grains. But few angiosperm germinative cell again divide into two, so the 3 cell stage. So the remaining 30 to 40% pollen grains, angiospermic pollen grains, are set at the 3 cell stage, but majority are set at the 60 to 65% angiosperm set at the 2 cell stage. So you must remember. So there are 2 types of pollen grains according to the nature. During the releasing time, if they are 2 cell states or 3 cell states. So pollen grains are 2 types, 2 cell states and 3 cell states. 2 cell states means during the release from the pollen cell they have 2 cells, one vegetative, one generative. But if they have one vegetative and 2 generative cells, they are known as 3 cell states. That's all about today's class. Next time we will look about the physiology and biochemical changes and how does the pollen tube develop from the pollen grains on the stigma of a pistil. Thank you very much.